youngest players to ever play for Stephen A. Steelers, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, our friend, Jerome Bettis. And Jerome also joining us on behalf of the Skills USA National Signing Day 2021. How we doing? Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, my three favorite people. How we doing?
What's up, big boy?
Good to see you. It's good to have you with us.
Hey,
all right,
man.
You know where I'm starting. The dominant story of the day would be Aaron Rodgers, fellow Steeler Terry Bradshaw calling him weak. Where are you on this whole situation with Aaron and the Packers?
You know what? I understand Aaron's issue. Obviously, it's about respect, and he feels a lack of respect because of what they did from a draft perspective a year ago. He hadn't let that go, and I probably wouldn't have either. So I understand where he is, and we're in a different age now where it used to be, you know, you didn't really say much. You kind of handled your business. And when you became a free agent, you said, hey, I want to leave or I want to go. Now, players are starting to flex their muscle a little bit more and really kind of dictate terms to the organizations. And so now you've got Aaron wanting to go. And I think it's going to be a stalemate because I don't think the organization wants him to go because obviously the young guy is not ready to go behind him. In love.
Jerome Bettis, man, you played in the league a long time and you know the game. And when you speak to a lack of respect that has been accorded to Aaron Rodgers, can you give our audience specifics when players, and I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers specifically, I'm just talking about in general. When an NFL player is talking about a respect or lack thereof, what are the kind of things that they're alluding to where money is never just shoved aside? It obviously matters, but it's not just about money. It's about these other things. What are those other things?
So the other things, the first thing is Aaron Rodgers, what he has done for the organization, right? That allows him a little bit of latitude in terms of some of the things that has been afforded to him in terms of the conversations that he has with the coaches, some of the plays that's being called in terms of things that he likes. But most importantly, when there's a situation in a draft and you know that you're looking at a quarterback, you give that quarterback that has gotten a lot of leverage, if you will, in the organization. You give him a phone call and you say, hey, this is what we're going to do. You may not like it, but this is our plans. This is what we want to do. This is a long-term opportunity, and this is the business side of football. That's all you have to do. And as a player, he's going to understand it. He's going to say, you know what, I don't agree with it, but I understand if this is what you want to do, okay, I'm fine with it. And now when they make that phone call and your family calls you like, hey, what's going on? You could say, yes, I had a conversation. This is a decision that they made. Hey, I don't agree with it, but hey, I'm going to go with it. I was in a situation like this, with Brett Favre, such and such. But because you did not make that phone call, now I feel that, okay, I'm not part of the franchise in terms of a buy-in, right? You're not considering me part of the future. And now let's go a year later, after I am the MVP of the league, now you don't come to me and say, you know what, we need to do something with your contract to show our support of you. And these are the things that as a player, we look at and say, okay, that was strike one. I'm not going to get you to strike three. Here's strike two, and now I'm done.
What about your Steelers in the AFC North? I look at that. It's a very competitive division. The Browns have come up in the world. The Bengals just got a real crime partner for Joe Burrow if he can stay upright. Obviously, the Ravens every single year. And your Steelers last year had a real problem on the offensive line. Now, you go get Najee Harris, and you should think that would help the running game. But given Roethlisberger at this point in his career, given the offensive line, given Pouncey's retirement, did they do enough to take the AFC North, against the Browns and the Ravens especially?
You know, I think when you look at the Steelers in this division, you know, everybody has gotten better around them. But you have to remember that the Steelers were the gold standard of the division. So, yeah, everybody got better because they needed to. The Steelers needed to get better in a specific area, and I believe they got better. From an offensive perspective, they were one-dimensional. But guess what? We saw for 11 weeks that one-dimensional was good enough to win football games. It wasn't good enough to win playoff games. It wasn't good enough to beat the better players, I mean the better teams rather. So now what do? They go out, they get the running back, they re-emphasize the running game, which they needed to do because a Steeler team that finishes last in yards per game, that is ridiculous. It shouldn't ever happen. And so now they refocus on the running game. They change that piece. The defense was playoff championship caliber already. Now you ask Ben Roethlisberger to only throw the football 20 to 25 times. All of a sudden, now you have a championship offense to go with a championship defense. Now you have a chance because these other teams are going to be really good, but now you are still the gold standard in the division.
Absolutely.
Lacking gold standard.
Yeah. I want to transition to you, though, Jerome. What are you doing with Skills USA National Signing Day? Tell us about this.
Well, I'm here with 84 Lumber, and we're really trying to shine a light on Skills USA National Signing Day. And the whole idea and the concept is much like in sports, we have a National Signing Day to showcase all these student athletes. Now we want to showcase these students that are going into a skilled trade. And now we can give them that support, shine a light, and show that this is a industry that is in huge demand for those skilled trades. And if we can show them that, then there's going to be some kids that maybe don't want to go to college. This is another avenue for them to look at a very lucrative career that they can go into using their hands and be very successful. And this is a skill that they can take with them for the rest of their life, and they can take it in any city, any state in America, and they can get a job.
I love that. We do need to shine more light on the trades because there's such a need, and it's another career path, and college isn't for everybody. Like you said, you know, my grandfather was an electrician, so I love that you're supporting that because we do need to shine more of a spotlight on other avenues. Thank you so much, the Hall of Famer, Jerome Bettis, the Bus. Always good to see you, sir. Stay safe. Hope to see you in person soon.
All right.
Thank you.
The race for NBA MVP heating up, but find out why a long shot for the award should be the